Okay, it's happening, folks. Everyone to your battle stations. You know what to do. You know the procedure. Most important of all...
Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Elden Ring, the highly anticipated new game from Software, the developers best known, of course, as the originators of the Soulsborne genre. They are the progenitors of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and their next game is Elden Ring. It was announced back in June 12th, 2019, and what's particularly drawn a lot of attention to this project is not only the involvement of Miyazaki himself, but also George R.R. Martin, the creator of the Game of Thrones series, or the Song of Ice and Fire series. And we've seen some of the visual motifs that they're going for here. Here's some of the armor design we can expect, and there's this all-powerful Elden Ring that's been shattered. We don't know much about the story, but these visuals certainly speak to the tone of the game, and people are excited. But ever since June 12, 2019, which is almost 2 years ago now, we haven't heard a peep from the game, but it looks like all that's bound to change pretty soon if recent reports are to go by. Rumors that Elden Ring will be revealed soon began circulating when Jason Schreier tweeted this: "I know lots of people are desperate for Elden Ring news. I don't know much about it except that it's been delayed a bunch, but there is strong evidence floating around that the game will be shown relatively soon. It's not going to pull a Winds of Winter. Elden Ring has pages." This was published on February 27th, 2021, so 3 days ago as of the recording and publishing of this video. And somebody else who corroborated this was Jeff Grubb, who said this in his podcast where he talked about some of the things and rumblings and rumors he's heard about Elden Ring from sources.
But I will continue to say you're not going to have to wait long. I mean, Mike, do you think people are going to have to wait much longer for Elden Ring?
If you're anxious about it because you're worried that like Elden Ring is not a thing and it's not actually happening or got canceled, like that is 100% not the case.
So, they're insisting that a reveal is likely happening soon, but they wouldn't say why. And Jason was also very vague about why he believes that a reveal's happening soon, but we know now. Just this morning, March 1st, 2021, Andy Robinson, an editor at Video Games Chronicle, published the following article in which he talked about a leaked Elden Ring trailer being actively circulated in online chat groups. The full details can be found on the article itself, which is titled "A Leaked Elden Ring Trailer is Being Circulated Online," and here are the details about that. The video, which has been seen by Video Games Chronicle but cannot be shared for legal reasons, is labeled as Bandai Namco Confidential. So right now, your best hope of finding this trailer is potentially looking up this title, though once leaks really start to wind up, we might just see it as Elden Ring leaked trailer. The gameplay footage apparently transitions into showing a montage of familiar Souls-style melee combat, boss battles against fire-breathing dragon and a large sword-wielding foe, and a glimpse at horseback combat in a large open environment. So horseback combat would be an entirely new gameplay mechanic for Elden Ring. None of the past From Software games, the Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, had any sort of horseback combat. And in fact, the horseback combat for Elden Ring was actually reported on back in June of 2019 when the game was announced. Apparently, Elden Ring is going to add horseback riding to help cross an open world more vast than Dark Souls. So it looks like the open world of Elden Ring will be the biggest that From Software has ever created. And then the trailer that Video Games Chronicle saw apparently features a title card talking about how this is an all-new fantasy action RPG franchise from the creators of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. Now, Video Games Chronicle does emphasize that the leaked trailer is an off-screen clip that only shows a portion of the trailer, so they didn't get to see a release date because this leaked off-screen trailer doesn't go all the way to the end. So if there is a release date or release window in the trailer, we might have to wait until it is finally unveiled. sooner, hopefully, rather than later. Video Games Chronicle also provided an update on the state of Elden Ring, noting that the game has been delayed several times because of the pandemic. It would seem as though that's in large part why we have heard so little about the game over the past 1.5 years to 2 years. The article says that Elden Ring has already been delayed several times internally due to disruption caused by the pandemic. People with knowledge of the game's development told Video Games Chronicle that production has been significantly hampered by remote working restrictions, which have been in place for nearly a year. One person close to the game's development said that due to the disruption, they believed it was unlikely Elden Ring would make it out this year. So that is obviously very unfortunate to hear, but alas, this situation cannot be helped. The pandemic is what it is, and developers should take all the time they need to perfect the game, make sure it's in the best state possible before releasing it to the public. And with a highly anticipated game like Elden Ring, you know, you really have to nail the launch of that. We have seen time and again what happens when a game is rushed to launch, especially in the AAA landscape. I certainly don't want that for Elden Ring, so I'll wait as long as it takes. But yeah, the assumption is that the fact that this trailer exists might indicate that an official reveal may not be far away. And Jason Schreier corroborated this by retweeting the article from Andy Robinson and stating the following: "This is what I meant when I said there's tangible evidence we'll see it soon. The leaked Elden Ring footage I've seen is blurry, angled, and only part of the trailer, so I don't think it'd be a terrible idea to just wait for the real thing." Yeah, we all know that plenty of people won't be able to resist the temptation of taking an early, albeit off-screen peek at one of the most highly anticipated games right now. But yeah, it would seem as though when both Jason Schreier and Jeff Grubb said back in February that they've seen evidence that a reveal, an official gameplay reveal, is happening soon, they were referring to this leaked trailer that they saw before news broke that the trailer has leaked. Now, the question then becomes, when and where is this reveal happening? People had placed a lot of hopes that there's a Microsoft event happening soon and that Elden Ring will be a big part of that showcase, but Aaron Greenberg, who is the general manager at Xbox Games Marketing, retweeted a DualShockers article assuming that a new Elden Ring trailer will likely be showcased on March 23rd at Microsoft's possible event, and said that this is straight up just not happening. He specifically said this: "Just to set expectations, this is not happening. There are always things we have in the works, but nothing coming soon that would feature game announcements or world premieres like this." So hopes that an Elden Ring gameplay reveal would happen soon at this Microsoft event were thwarted. But the thing is, this Elden Ring reveal might actually not be happening in an event from one of the major platform holders, but instead, the publisher of the game, Bandai Namco, might actually be hosting their own event. And you can see right here from the first trailer that Bandai Namco is indeed the publisher. And here's something that Twitter user Nibel noticed. Bandai Namco has trademarked Bandai Namco Next, which could be an online presentation similar to Directs or State of Plays. And when somebody asked if this is where we'll finally see Elden Ring, Nibel responded that, yeah, I think this is the best chance for it to show up. Now, obviously, when this Bandai Namco showcase will happen remains to be seen, but it will likely happen sometime this year, maybe within the next couple months, maybe sooner than we think. Hard to say for sure at this point, but the important thing to note is that a gameplay trailer is on the horizon, and this game does in fact exist. It has not been canceled, as some rumors suggest. Don't believe news outlets like International Business Times here, who took a joke tweet from Jason Schreier when he responded to a poll asking if Elden Ring is real, obviously jokingly, and said, "Damn, just got a call from Miyazaki, now they legally have to cancel it." International Business Times took that seriously and published an article with a headline that reads, "Elden Ring confirmed canceled?" ? News reportedly came from game creator Miyazaki. This is a segment of that article. Fans' hope was high earlier today following reports that a new update about Elden Ring would surface in March. However, that hope was immediately quashed when Bloomberg video game reporter Jason Schreier tweeted that he got a call from Miyazaki. Now they legally have to cancel it. It looks like Schreier is backtracking on his earlier tweets. Wow. Apparently, shortly after the article went up, International Business Times realized what an embarrassment of an article that was, as they straight up just decided to delete it. If you try to go to it now, it'll say page not found. Yeah, Elden Ring isn't canceled. And if anything, we'll see it sooner rather than later. Though for those looking forward to get their hands on the game, it would seem as though we might have to wait until 2022, hopefully early 2022. The Elden Ring community, the FromSoft community, they're itching for just anything. And with this trailer leak getting out there, with word spreading, you can see the excitement and desperation in forums like the Elden Ring subreddit, where everyone is just trying to find this leak. Now, there are some fake leaks out there already. Apparently, there are people who are suggesting certain screenshots might be from that leaked Elden Ring trailer, but people have already found proof that some of these screenshots have been doctored. But yeah, the hype is real. Refreshing the page, you can see memes like humanity restored finally, a whole lot of ohs, and basically sentiments that everyone is feeling. Oh, wait, I literally just found the leaked trailer. It looks like Reddit is now starting to spread it. So here's a post that says, I'm gonna start crying soon, but before that, a message to my comrades. Elden Ring trailer leak, not the full trailer. This will take me to a YouTube video, and I'm just gonna say what I'm seeing. I'm not gonna show it because, again, I might get in trouble for that. But okay, all right. Yeah, it is blurry, low resolution. It's not the best way to watch the trailer. Honestly, if you decide to not see it right now and wait for the full thing at the highest quality, you know, I wouldn't blame you. But yeah, right here I see a view of a snowy landscape with character on horseback riding into the horizon, and a title card shows up that says an all-new fantasy action RPG. The next shot also shows a character on horseback, this time going from left to right. The environment is sort of this almost like Twilight-looking environment with this yellow glowing tree in the background, and the character's just kind of like riding past the camera, and then we get to see some of the horseback gameplay. This seems to be a different environment. It's daylight, and the scenery looks like something I'd see out of like Witcher. On the right, you've got a wagon. It's almost like this wilderness kind of open environment. The sky is blue, and on the left, you've got these rock formations that rest on an upwards incline on this kind of hill. And this isn't cinematically shot gameplay. This looks to be actual gameplay. The camera's behind the character on horseback. The character swings towards his right, towards an enemy who is next to that wagon, just kind of walking, and you can see blood just spraying for a bit, and the character swings again to another individual who is on horseback right in front of the guy who was on the ground, and blood sprays from the horse, I believe. Yeah, I can actually see the enemy on horseback raising his weapon ready to swing. The player swings first, strikes at the horse and the enemy flinches, and then we see a close-up of the dragon. The model of this dragon looks pretty impressive. It's like very low-resolution footage, but you can still tell that this model is going to look pretty badass, and it's breathing fire and in a sweeping fashion, and the fire effect looks very, very good. The next shot shows the character looking sort of upwards, and towards the bottom you can kind of see some like building structures and houses in the background. That dragon is sweeping and breathing fire, and the player character dodges forward. That dodge is very much a Souls game dodge, utilizing those iframes or just getting out of the way. The character is also surrounded by these blue orbs that seem to be magic missiles of sorts that, as the character rolls forward, home in on the dragon that's sweeping by and actually fire at it. The particle effects in general look great. The fire sweeping through as the dragon breathes, it looks fantastic. And I know it's blurry footage, but it's one of those things that you can tell, okay, I feel like when I see it in high resolution, when the actual gameplay trailer comes out, it'll look really damn good. Also, in this scene where the dragon's sweeping by, the sky has this reddish hue, so I'm wondering if it's like dawn or dusk, or if the dragon is causing the sky to look that way. I wonder if there's some kind of day and night cycle, because throughout the footage you see that some scenes happening during the day, some at dusk or dawn, others at night. There's quite a bit of variation in terms of time of day, So I'm curious as to whether that just changes from environment to environment and it's a static thing, or if there's some kind of dynamic day and night cycle or weather system. Ooh, and then there are a few frames towards the very end showing a scene that takes place at night. The sky seems to be dotted with stars. Towards the right, there is like this castle in the background, and there are two characters that are encountering each other. One of the characters seems to be like falling on the other, and I don't know which is the player. Is the player the one who's attacking, who's falling and attacking the enemy? Or are they the character who is being attacked? Somebody's like in the air and doing like a sweep attack against another character. And then that's where the footage cuts off. The art direction's already looking fantastic. It's almost like a brighter Dark Souls, just a little more colorful, a little more vibrant, whereas Dark Souls has this constant sense of dread. Not to say that Elden Ring won't have regions that evoke more of that sense of dread. This is just a portion of the trailer, and we're seeing snowy regions, sort of more Twilight and very mystical looking regions. We're seeing more traditional kind of fantasy looking environments, but I have little doubt we'll see like swamps. There's always a swamp area in a Souls game, in a From Software game. There's bound to be some kind of darker area filled with undead. That also tends to be a common trend with Souls games. But just in general, from what I'm seeing here, this looks to be a From Software game with a more vibrant color palette. Also, this clip doesn't seem to have any audio, so I cannot speak to that, but the audio design in Soulsborne games have always been fantastic. Yeah, I am pumped to see the final gameplay trailer in all its full glory. Again, if you want to see this trailer for yourself, you have to find it yourself, but it looks like the leak is getting a lot of traction, and it won't be too difficult to find this footage. Though I suspect Bandai Namco will be pretty active about copyright striking all of this stuff. So be on the lookout, you'll see trailers go up and down, but once it leaks out, it's out. There's no stopping it. And if you do manage to find this clip and check it out, let me know in the comments below what you think about it, based on what little it shows. Are you excited for Elden Ring, or are you gonna wait and see until the full gameplay trailer is revealed? Drop a comment, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.